yes. It's Wednesday, the whatever of the whatever, and we're still waiting for Mbemo to come. I refuse to talk about him today, Yabba. How you doing, big man?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just I feel like an old man. I've come home from work and slept, like Abraham Simpson, you know. But I'm wide awake now because my head. It's right now. Daily alarm, 9 o'clock. To the Man United agenda. Yeah. You're a bit frustrated, Mr. B, are you? Did you say you're frustrated about the deal not going through yet? Is that what you?
No, no, no,
Ah,
no. I'm not. I'm done, Kieran.
oh right, okay,
I'm done, Kieran. From when a deal can take,
yeah,
yeah. From when a deal can take this long, the excitement's gone. I'm expecting the bare minimum to be done in the transfer window. I do expect maybe Mbemo to come. If he doesn't, they'll spend the money on a striker and maybe a centre midfielder, and everything will be rocking up the same. My expectations weren't very high before the window started. I'm seeing what all the other clubs are doing, including Sunderland, who have already spent 100 million. And I'm not going to say I don't care, but I'm not expecting much.
yeah.
I'm really not expecting much. I'm expecting -9 to still be there, leading the line in some games. I'm expecting Anana to still be there, messing us up, getting us kicked out the Coca-Cola Cup.
Yeah,
I expect Mason Mount to still be there, getting injured. I expect Shaw, um, not to play any games at all next season, regardless of how slim he's looking in the pictures that have obviously been doctored. But yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done, Kieran Yaba, to be fair.
so the idea is to lower your expectations, and anything that does come, you'll be happy with. You know, that's the thing as a Man United fan these days. So don't expect too much. Just guys, just just stay to yourself. What will be. You know, and we're going to Wembley. Say so, okay, Sarah, Sarah. Whatever will be. Mr. B is saying whatever will be. And if Memo comes, yeah. If not, so be it. We got Mason Mount. That's the attitude.
Yeah, we got Mason Mount and Bruno to play in that position. Whoop-de-doo. No, look. I mean, look. That's all jokes aside. We're struggling. I did expect us to have been moved on before. There's little snippets coming out now. I think it's the spin. I think they're setting us up for him not to be coming and for them to pull back. I heard a couple of things about Radcliffe getting involved in the deal now, and obviously they don't want it to. They're not budging on the price. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's true or whether it's false. They upped the price, and United said they weren't going to go to it. But look, before we go any further, let me just say a couple of howdies. Solos in the house. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Big boss, chat sport. How are you, man? Uh, yeah. The medical room is still in Brentford. How you doing? How are you doing? I am Titanium. I hope you're doing well. Asus, long time. United want Garnacho and Jackson swap deal. Yeah, we'll talk about that after the first couple and see if we agree or don't agree. Cole, I hope you're doing well, man. That says, and Bremer price 70 million, just paid the damn money already. Well, they don't want to pay it. They've gone up to 62.5, and it sounds like they're not going to be bent over for this one. Dave P, trying to find a non-transfer topic for the sake of sanity. Who would you most like to see playing together on Saturday? Playing together what? Oh, in the game. Boy, I haven't even thought about that. To be fair, oh God, no, Yabba, he's jumped on your joke bandwagon. Jackson is bad. He can beat it. Oh Lord, have mercy. I'm tired.
Very good.
See, very good. You've impressed me with that one. Martinez, Yabba, 33 mil.
Martinez.
Yeah. Aston Villa goalkeeper. 33 million is what
Oh,
we
okay,
might.
yeah. All right, 33 mil.
Yeah,
Is that
33 million. Ooh. Hi, Joe, new member. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for that. And look, right on cue, before we go any further, let me just explain a couple of things. If you are new to the channel, we are on our way to 4K. When we do hit 4K, we did say before the season starts, but maybe that's a bit of a push. But maybe with you guys' help, you never know. But look, when we hit 4K, we are gonna have a draw, for you guys to win a Man United season shirt for this season. Also, um, if you do become a member, just like Hydro, you have the option. Well, you have the not the options, not the word. You have the chance to appear on the Friday night mix zone with me. But that's not the main thing, really. You could also win a signed Brian Robson um Manchester United shirt. So that's also available for you guys. So hi Joe, thanks for that. Thanks for coming a member. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Look, we can't fix it. If we could do that, then I would be winning both shirts. But obviously, I've been told I'm not allowed. So without further ado, we will move on to Martinez. Now, 40 million is what Villa reportedly want from Man United. 33 million is reportedly what United want to pay. Couple of things. Do you think they could be maybe met somewhere in the middle? And also Martinez, I'm gonna please tell me you do believe he's an upgrade on Poppadom risk for one. And two, do you think it's a good deal money wise?
All right, all right. Yeah, as we know, Nana hasn't performed at Man United since he's been there, and he's become like a bit of a joke. And for the fans as well, I can't think of many fans that actually back him or support him. And I'm in that camp too. I find that his performances has been below the standard I expected, and it's time to move on to get someone new in. You know, we thought we'd get someone to compete with him, with the Turk Bayende or whatever his name is. He made mistakes as well, so it just seems like that position is cursed at the moment. And when you really look at it, for all our history, we've only really had two world-class keepers, in my opinion, throughout our whole history. Only two keepers that we can say are world class, and that would be Schmeichel and Edwin van der Sar.
Yeah.
We've had some decent keepers, but we've also had some Jim Leightons, who was the number one for a long period of time as well. And I felt Jim Leighton was not the best, even though he was international Scottish number one. But talking about Nana, yes, he has to perform better. Is Martinez better than him? I would say yes, based on what he's achieved throughout his career. But Martinez, remember, was let go by Arsenal. He wasn't getting games there, and he was the B goalkeeper who's turned out good. You could present him like that. You see what I mean? Arsenal's scrap heap end up at Villa and turned out good since he's left Villa, left Arsenal. So well done to him. Likely to, all goalkeepers have a mistake in them, but what I do like about him is his character. As we know, we discussed him before. I felt Mr. B that he's got this mindset where he can put people off. Penalty shootouts. You've seen him doing the Copa America for Argentina, against Holland as well in the World Cup. Against Colombia in the Copa America, against Holland in the World Cup. That save he made in the World Cup final last minute. He's a good, solid keeper. Is he world class? Maybe not, but he's a step up to what we've got. I don't understand the 40 million Villa. That's a bit too much for someone of that age. I think a more realistic starting figure for me, not to worry about finances, it would be, say, 25 to 30. If we can get him for that in that sort of region. But they know we're desperate for a keeper. They're not playing ball. For some reason, he wants to leave. They need to make money. They missed out last season on Champions League, and really, really disaster for them. After all the progress they've made, they have to make sales now. And obviously, we're talking about Ollie Watkins, and now we're talking about Martinez, two of their probably most important players. If we can get him, I'll be happy because it'll be upgrade. But also, I just don't want us to get messed around with the price. And 40 million, I wouldn't be, too keen on sort of spending that sort of money. But as you know, with goalkeepers, we got Edwin van der Sar in his 30s from Fulham, and he turned out to be, great. Even though he was great before, but he went from Juve to Fulham, and then he came back and proved himself to be like legit world class at Man United. So it's one of them ones. Goalkeeper is very important. He's a very good goalkeeper. I don't see why we don't go in for him. What do you think, Mr. B?
I'm happy with the price. I'm happy. So before we go any further, hope you're doing well. I know you're Tottenham man are just so happy. They've only signed one player, but they're so happy. I can see the happiness in the yes, Mr. B. You know, it's just I can feel your joy. But yeah, look, I would take him. I would take anybody as an upgrade. But he's actually a half decent guy. I think he's more than a half decent goalie. I agree with you on the price. I don't see 40 million going anywhere near 40 million. I would rather have, been more 25 million ish. But you work it out over the time. It's going to be a 5-year contract. Goalies hit their peak in their, in their 30s. 30, I'm not saying, 30, 32 is old, but I think that's a good age for a goalkeeper. So I have no problem with that. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat that disagrees with that before we jump on to the next one. Let's have a look. Lovely. No disagreements. No disagreements. No disagreements. Guys, there's only 11 of you watching, but tell a lie. There's 13 of you watching at the moment, but there's only 2 of you who haven't liked. So we'll take that all day. If you are watching on the X verse, jump over if you're enjoying what you're watching. If you're not, then still jump over and tell us what we can change. I can't say your name, but I can't say your name. But Deliso, yes, I liked Amy Martinez, Moise Keane, Anderson, Mwemba. Oh, wow. Mwemba, Rios to United is better for us next season. I don't think we've got much chance of that of all of those, but you never know. Subvids, I hope you're doing well, man. Rebel, calm down, man. He's 33 in September. All right, that's fine. Still 4-year deal. They'll give him a 5-year just in case he does well. He's not going to be on a million bucks, as they say. Let's have a look. FTM.com, goalkeepers peak around 32 and maintain consistency for about 2 to 3 years. Massive decline after. All right, so give him a 4-year contract, then fine. We'll give him a 4-year one and let him walk away on a free. Either way, we 100% need a goalkeeper, boy. Sancho, the gift that keeps on not giving. A deal's hopefully been muted. 15 mil. I don't care if it's euros or pounds, to be fair. I see you're giving that face, but details are 15 mil. He wants his payout. It sounds like they've come to some sort of agreement of about 3.5. I'm taking the money and I'm telling him to bounce. You're in. So what's your about then, Yabba? Talk to me, man.
For me, at this point, it was £15 million. We spent so much on him. He's on big wage as well, and it's like we're giving him away for 15 mil. And when we know, the frustration thing for me is we know there is a player there is a talent there, and someone like, do you remember when Cantona ended up at Sheffield Wednesday on trial under Trevor Francis because he got kicked out of England? Sorry, got kicked out of France, and Platini was friends with Trevor Francis and said, "Oh, look, can you have a look at Cantona? Give him some games. We got a World Cup coming up. We need him to be playing. Give him a trial or something." And Trevor Francis was like, "All right, I'll have a trial with this guy." Brought him in and saw him. It was really bad weather at the time. Saw him playing indoors. Wasn't still sure about him. Howard Wilson got wind of this, came in, snapped him up, and the rest of the story. And it's the same applies. So Juve know they're getting something special here, as in a maverick, someone who can perform, and probably if they were performing, wouldn't be 15 million. It's the deal of the century for a team that are known for being regimented. So in their mind, Juve are thinking 15 million is not too much of a gamble, because if he comes to our club, we're strict, we can get him playing again and get him performing, then already he's become like a 60, 70 million pound player. Do you see what I mean? So they've just got rid of the guy that got sold to Liverpool, was injury prone.
Chiesa.
Chiesa, yeah, and he was a brilliant player. Liverpool took a risk by taking him for basically on a free, knowing that he's injury prone, and thought maybe we can get a tune out of him. And they still got him. They still could get a tune out of him. And then they say, oh, look, this is great business. And the same applies for Juve. This is good business if you can get a tune out of him. And 15 million is not bad for a young player who's 24, 25, but has probably got a good career ahead of him if they can push his buttons and get him playing right. So Juve will be skinning teeth right now, thinking this is a good deal. We will be cringing like I was just now, thinking 15 mil, but we want to get rid of him because we have to move on. So let's just get the deal done. And I would, be cringing again if he goes there and starts blowing up Mr. B, because that mean bad business for us. And once again, a player who comes to Man United doesn't perform, but can go elsewhere and do really well. So let's just get the deal done.
You've seen what he did at Chelsea. If he stays in the Prem, obviously you don't see. But in Italy, maybe he will. Maybe the league slow. Maybe he will perform. He'll still have that Champions League carrot. He'll still have that Champions League exposure. Look, for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. I just want the move to hurry up, and I just want it to hurry up. That's what I really, really want. I really want it just to hurry up and move. It's slowing the club down. From all of us normally typically slow business. And yeah, it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. So let's get him out. Get him out. I've got one here from Cole I'm just gonna put this up while we're here. Manchester United are demanding 58 million euros for Anthony. Obviously, there's been interest has been shown in him. I think they've shown Betis the arm door now. I think they're taking too long. They obviously can't afford it, and United need the money. So I assume that he's going to be offered to here, there, and everywhere now. People are looking for wingers. I'm not sure they're looking for wingers at the price of 58 million euros. But yeah, look, our pricing is ridiculous, and we know that he's probably going to end up going for 25 after all of that. But Anthony not going to Betis. You see it being an issue. You see it being an issue. Him getting sold for that price, and if that price isn't agreeable with you, what price do you think is fair?
You know what? This is another one similar to Sancho, a player that should, when we signed them, we thought, okay, there should be a sell on value, but there's not. Anthony's really underperformed at Man United, gone to Betis, showed a few months of form, got them to a final, got them pushed up the league, fan favourite and all that, showed his passion, showed his ability that he can actually do it. But I don't think players like a team, would be paying that sort of money for Anthony, because there's a question mark, isn't there, with him, with his performance. I think the difference between him and Sancho is I think he's got more desire. I think he's more animated. You can see he's got something about him where he wants to perform well, but he just doesn't seem to do it. So Anthony, 58 million, I think, yeah, as Colin was saying there with the Mr. B pricing and all that kind of thing, whoever's pricing up, they're doing a bad job. I remember I used to work in Sainsbury's as a student, and at the end of the shift, at the end of the day, you get a pile of people coming in because you get these stickers, these yellow stickers, and start putting low prices on all the food that's going out of date. Food is going to be off. And people might benefit from getting stuff. So all these old people used to come in and say, "Oh yeah, let's see what you got any reduced prices." And you price up all the stuff that you didn't want anymore, and you're just happy just to give it away. Because if you left them in the storeroom, they'd end up being binned and thrown away anyway. And that kind of reminds me of this Anthony situation and Sancho, where we're going to get to the stage where we're putting reduced price yellow stickers on them and saying, "Look, just take him. We don't want him because he end up rotting away here at the club." And so I would just say, look, start lowering the price, or if you want to start high and just to see if there's any interest, you're going to end up having to lower it anyway, because not many clubs out there can afford that sort of money. And if they are going to spend that sort of money, they're not going to be investing it in a player who comes with a reputation of not performing in the top league. So Start lower.
Oh boy, no. Are we gonna have some good news at all on this one?
It doesn't look
All
like
right,
it.
look. All right, look. You're a positive guy. We've been linked to a forward of no repute, as far as I'm concerned. Jackson from Chelsea. See, you've done a little sway. I don't like this, yeah, but you've done a little sway. We're going to disagree again. Come on, talk to me about Jackson. Well, look, first things first. I'll get mine. I don't want us doing no deals with Chelsea. Nobody's left Chelsea and done better. They are very good at buying and selling players. And now we've been linked. Obviously, we were linked with the balloon blower. I'm glad that's died out. We're now linked with Jackson. I'm going to assume he's been offered to a lot of people. He's not for sale. Is the is the word, but obviously there's going to be a price where he's going to be available for. I'll put it right there. I don't want Jackson at Man United. I know he's better than -9, but I don't want Jackson at Man United. And I have nothing more to say on that. I have nothing more to say on that.
I want to say big up to Iron Titanium with the Michael Jackson joke. Said he might moonwalk into Old Trafford. Very good. We hope not. He can moonwalk backwards out of Old Trafford. It's really if this is what's come to. Let me just say this about Jackson. I had a good look at him because I'm thinking, why would Chelsea go in for him? He's the main striker for Chelsea as well. When they had Nkunku there as well, who proved himself in Germany and couldn't get a game. But Jackson's quick. I'll give him that. He's a rapid striker. I've seen him with a lot of pace, but he's really sort of flattered to deceive last season. I was looking at his game. He's the main focal point. Yes, he's quick. He can get behind, but his finishing. There's a bit of there's videos out there about his calamities that he had finishing. Was really poor. I don't think we need someone like him. He doesn't tick the boxes. Look at what Chelsea have got now. I think that's what we need. A player like the Lap and João Pedro, similar players where they're big and strong, hold up the ball well, link up the play. I mean, João Pedro, what he did in the World Championship final with his link up play was brilliant, setting up Palmer and for chances and holding it up and running the channels. And you could see against his physical defenders, like from PSG, he was able to do a good job. And I actually think that's the sort of profile we're looking for. Jackson doesn't tick those boxes for me. He's a sort of guy who doesn't have those characteristics and is a bit sort of it's a bent foot. You know, you used to call people bent foot.
Ben Foot.
Yeah, he reminds me of one of them guys, a bit of a bent foot. But I've listened to interviews from him, Mr. B, and he said he wanted to be the next African because they were comparing him to Drogba as an African striker, Eto'o as well that went to Chelsea. And he said he wants to become a legend at the club. He said he wants to be, you can see he's ambitious with his interviews. So I like that about him. But who knows? Who knows what would happen there? I just don't. It wasn't on my radar. It's not a player, like you said, I don't want to take a reject. Because you can imagine going to Stamford Bridge and saying, Chelsea reject, you know, this kind of thing. I wouldn't want to take him like that. And maybe I need more time to really sort of consider it. But it depends really on the price. It depends really, you know.
Depends on the price. See, you. I don't like that talk, Gabby. See, depending on the price. What would you be happy taking him for then?
Half price. How we can give away Sancho and try and get rid of Anthony for cheap. I think if they don't need him because they got João Pedro and Delap, maybe they'd be willing to sort of let him go for kind of cheaper than what we expected. I just don't fancy him, Mr. B. You know how it is. It's straight away. Most fans would be like that as well because he was not like a sensation at Chelsea, but. And the only thing that's positive about him is his attitude. I think he's got a positive attitude. He wants to be great. But just unless it's like 10, 15 million, I don't really want a player like Nicholas Jackson at the club.
See, Stephanie's saying you're wavering there. Yeah, but you're wavering. Yo, Vincent, how you doing, man? I'm gonna have your guy with me on Friday again, Rio. Um,
Big up
yeah,
Rio.
yeah. Big up Rio, man. He'll be with me on Friday. Colb, that's it. Keep feeding me the news, mate. Keep feeding me the news. Now we've had 1, 2. We've spoken about Sancho. Look, let's talk about the other one, the other winger. Um, that seems to be surplus to requirements. Garnacho is getting closer to leaving and joining Aston Villa on loan. I don't believe this for 1 minute. Martinez has agreed to join Man United, but no concrete offers yet. But a Villa move is becoming more possible. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Cole, no, I'm not saying it's you that I don't believe, but I don't see this story. We're not we're not going to loan out Garnacho. They're going to take money for him, so Villa will have to cop up if they do want to take him. Could he play under Unai? Yeah, I think you'll probably get a more of a tune out of him. But I don't know. I don't know. It's two Brock clubs having to deal with each other that don't really don't really go too well. You know what I mean? One don't want to pay this. One's begging for this. No, they're gonna end up loaning him. Look, Garnacho can't be loaned anyway. That's a straight up. I just don't see it happening. It's definitely not going to be no swap deal for PSR reasons. So Garnacho loan shirt. Do you think that shirt was a sign? Him and Ibiza?
The Garnacho is another player that's not wanted at the club. It's a shame, really, because a couple of years ago we was like, this is our next big thing: youngsters scoring overhead kicks and just coming on and setting Old Trafford on fire. I suppose it's not hard these days, but you look like the new wonder kid, and for certain reasons, maybe to do with attitude and unprofessionalism, and he's not wanted at the club, and I accept that. I've come to terms with that because we need to move forward with a new culture, and he doesn't fit the bill. He's doing something wrong. Bayern Munich are looking for a left winger. When I say left winger, not left-footed, but one who cuts in with the right foot. They're looking at Diaz from Liverpool. They're willing to pay like 50, 60 million for him. And they not once have they mentioned Garnacho, who's definitely on the market. That shows you, he would be a superstar, you'd think, international, Argentine international, young star at Man United's next big thing. But his stock has gone down that much. So Bayern Munich aren't interested in him. They're looking elsewhere. Aston Villa, you're talking about loan. It just shows you, Mr. B, once again, this is why the transfer shows right now are not really doing it for us, the ins and the outs, because we're thinking, wait a minute, we can't even get rid of so-called good talent. People like Sancho who's talented. People like Garnacho who's talented because they got bad attitudes. They're stinking out the place, and the word gets round: don't touch these guys. Because they're really, really gonna their reputation is soiled. Do you know what I mean? So, man, it's a tough one. We can't loan him, Mr. B. Like you said, we have to get dough for these guys, and it's going to get to the point where we come to the last minute transfer window, and we're going to be playing again, and then someone's going to come with a bid, and we might just have to accept it rather than have them in the club. It's the drama is the saga with all these players, which we're becoming a laughing stock.
Yeah.
Most clubs are laughing at us for this, and they're treating us like MUGSs, which is not cool. It's not cool. No one wants to be treated like that, and that's how we're getting treated right now. Just the main thing is, Mr. B, don't you agree? Just get the guys that are not training in the first team, who are not wanted. We just need to get them out. Don't you want to be talking about them anymore? Just get them out, and we can move forward with our new babies and our new attitude and everything. We just want them gone. That's the main thing. So loans and all that. No. We don't want loans. Just take them guy for money, and you try and work a little something to push their buttons, because we certainly can't.
There, see? Yabba agrees with you totally, man. 100%. Right on cue, Yabba, man. Oh, look. I'm not sure where our transfer window's going. Every year seems to get worse. I can see him not getting the players he wants. Obviously, we know the players that he did want, we're not going to get. And then come when the transfer window closes and we start shit, he's going to get the blame and we're going to sack him, remembering that he didn't get backed. And this is what's going to burn me the most. If they back him and he messes up, fine. But because he's not going to get no backing, it's like they just, I don't, just why do they keep lying? You know what I mean? I'm just sick of the bullshit. Yeah, but honestly,
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Mad
honestly,
time.
I'm just not even. I was so pissed off that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Look at all these other clubs. You know, Liverpool are talking about bloody Isaac. They just spent 120 on Wirtz.
Yeah,
They're now talking about Isaac. And guess what? If they don't get Isaac, that's cool. They're just gonna go and get Ekatike, the player who. So it's a win-win for them.
yeah,
So I understand you can only play. You can only have 11 players. You can only have 11 players at one time on the pitch. So it doesn't matter who all these superstars they buy, but it would be nice just to have that joy. Maybe it's gonna be, maybe Mbemo will be put over the line and it will just be bang, 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 bang. All of these deals that have been set up. I doubt it. But maybe that's how it's gonna be for us. Yeah, but do you have anything positive before we disappear into the night?
yeah. We'll wrap this up, but my wrap up would be saying this. I do like to look on the bright side. I do like to be positive and look at it. And I have been sort of scraping the barrel, trying to find some sort of positives about our season. So the main thing for me is this: is what I'm saying. I'm desperate to clear the club and of the bad players, the rotten apples, who are infecting our good fruits. When you put a bowl of fruit together and one of them's rotten, they will spread onto the others. And I understand that analogy, and I understand why we need to get rid of these guys and not even have them training at Carrington as was suggested. My belief is you've got to back the manager, and by doing that, just encourage anything he wants. So a clear out, a change of attitude, training, getting everyone fit, all these things. These are the things that I'm trying to look for positives for, and also just to encourage the fan base as well, just to get behind the manager, knowing our expectations. As Mr. B started the show, talk about expectations. Knowing our expectations are low. If we can just get behind the team, get behind the players that we might have given up on, we've seen it before with Harry Maguire. We gave up on him and he came back and showed character. That's why he's still at the club. There you go. And I just think we need to get behind the players like Xerxes, even Rasmus Haaland, if he stays. We need to be able to have an attitude to say, right, we're giving you, this is my positive. We need to have players that we really sigh about. We have to say, look, things are really bad. We are getting behind you one last time because we've got a new regime, new manager, and we're going to, rather than sighing every time you touch the ball, we're going to encourage you, give you that extra energy, and try to make you a good player. One player I think who could be a saviour for us is Xerxes. I really do think that he's got something about him, and I think because we've given up on him for 3 goals from last season, which is terrible. I think there's an opportunity where he could actually perform and do something this year. Second season in the UK or in the Premier League. I think he could do something. I think Rasmus Haaland's got a lot to answer for, but he's got the desire. He seems to have the character and will to want to try hard. So maybe he can do something as well. So I just want to get behind the team. Sometimes you suffer as a Man United fan. You're certainly suffering now. But my thing is let's just get into the season. Let's not despair anymore. Let's lower our expectations and let's try and enjoy our football, enjoy what the manager's going to do, and get behind the players rather than sighing against them. Get behind them, and hopefully, with our first game against Arsenal, coming up in for the first game of the season, we might be surprised. We might think, maybe it's not so bad after all, because the manager is coaching them properly now, and we will see some development in players. That's my positive statement. I know you're going to laugh, but that's how I feel.
Okay, well, look, you've obviously have your happy beans today. Well done, Mr. Positivity. You are the only one who feels positive about the chance to win. I can tell by the chat. Nobody agrees with you, but look, that's what it's all about. You being positive. You keep us up when we're down, and you try to pick us up when we're even lower. But look, that's what we do in it, guys. we are on our way to 4K. We're a long way away. We wanted to do it before the start of the season. With your help, we can. If you do like what you've just seen, like, subscribe. If you're on the Twitterverse, Xverse, jump over. Also, we will be giving away a shirt once we hit 4K. This season shirt. Also, members, we've had one join again today. I should have done is start it to have it up, but a member joined today. Obviously, his perks I've been able to join me on the Mix Zone Premier League Mix Zone on a Friday. Not the whole show, but you can jump on for 5 minutes and have your say. Talk about this. Obviously, it's a Premier League show, so it's all things Premier League. Once we do hit a figure for our members, we will be giving away a signed Brian Robson shirt. I can't win
Captain
it.
Marvel, come on.
I can't win it. But look, that's how it goes. Grace, how you doing? Long time no see. Is he? Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed? Your love affair with him shows no sense of dying. But look, as always, Grace, you're welcome. Yabba, if you have nothing else to say, then I would like to say like a notch, and we will be back tomorrow. Are you?
Yeah, like a notch from me as well. That's creation for goodbye. We miss you, Dora. Thank you.
And guys, like a notch, we're out. See you all tomorrow. Shit, wrong button.